Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lebo from Mahlatse Technologies, and I'm here with
Mahlatse Tolamo.
Mahlatsi Tolamo. I just wasn't sure about the surname. So I'm here with Mahlatsi at the GEW Hackathon Challenge, African Bank in partnership with 22 On Sloane. How are you today?
I'm very good, thanks. And yourself?
I'm good. We're here today, obviously, for the African Bank's hackathon. As 22 On Sloane, what is your role here today?
22 On Sloane is a startup campus where we house numerous SMMEs and startups, ranging from startups who are in pre-seed up to growth stage and SMMEs who are in different sectors. Over and above that, we also have different programs to support SMMEs. We have our incubation program, accelerator program, as well as our youth entrepreneurship program, where it targets young kids between the ages of 13 and 18 years of age. Then over and above that, we see ourselves as ecosystem enablers, where we bring together the public and private stakeholders as well as entrepreneurs in one place through various events, one of them being the hackathon that we're hosting this weekend, which is in partnership with African Bank, who is one of our biggest partners. So we have programs with African Bank, one of them being the Enterprise Supplier Development Program, where they onboard SMMEs who are in the township areas, and they take them through a capacity building program with the aim of onboarding them in the supplier database to directly procure their services. So yeah, that's why we are hosting GEW Hackathon.
That's quite interesting. Yeah. I thought this hackathon in itself is one of the first of events that you guys are doing in collaboration. But looking back, the Web 3.0 was one of the hackathons that they did in partnership with 22 On Sloane as well. So how do you see this partnership maturing with African Bank?
So surprisingly, the Web 3.0 hackathon was African Bank's first hackathon. So the main aim of the Web 3.0 hackathon was a lead up to the IT Summit, the yearly IT Summit, right? So Web 3.0 is not really a very I don't want to say familiar, but it's not really well known in the space, and African Bank is trying to showcase itself in the fintech space, that they do have the capabilities to be one of the leading fintech banks, So, and one of the aims of that hackathon was to bring in university students as well as young students to and expose them to the world of tech, and possibly onboarding some of those students into the different departments, which was really great. So the difference between that hackathon and this hackathon is that now we opened it up to more people over and above the young students as well as the university students. This one then is just aimed at spurring innovation, and now we're specifically focusing on the African Bank's fintech challenges. And post this hackathon, we're hoping that these solved challenges will be then implemented within the bank. So how do we see this relationship evolving? Is that really this will really spur innovation among the youth, and also this would be maybe a platform where African Bank can test out some of their products, or take some of the solutions that have been developed here and implement them within the bank. As you know, that African Bank is a bank for the people, by the people, and given the hackathon, this is basically a platform where then they take solutions from the people on the ground and implementing it to serve the people within their communities.
That is awesome to hear, and I think previously you touched on the supply development program that you guys run with African Bank. For somebody that might be sitting at home listening and wondering, how do I become part of that? How does that sort of manifest for somebody that's interested?
Okay, so we usually do a call for applications where SMEs can apply to be part of this cohort. And then secondly, African Bank usually hosts summits in these different townships. Last year it was in Tembisa, and then this year it was in Soweto. So during those summits, there are pitching opportunities, and then the winners from those pitching opportunities then get onboarded onto the supplier database. So following that, that's when they become part of the African Bank capacity building program. So should you be an entrepreneur in the township area that really wants to be part of African Bank's ESD cohort, please do attend some of their summits, and also do reach out to African Bank, try to apply on some to procure or supply to them, and then they will add you on their supplier database. So that's how sometimes they reach out to some of the SMEs within the program.
That is awesome. And from a 22 On Sloane perspective, you guys work with a lot of, I would say, corporates and government even. For somebody that would be interested in some of the rich information that comes from here and wants to be part of the community here, how do they go about it?
So first of all, since we are celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week, they can start off by attending some of our events taking place during the week. Okay. So we have a series of activities taking place during Global Entrepreneurship Week. So this weekend we have the hackathon from the 10th to the 12th of November. Then on Monday, 13th, we have the Simodisa Policy Breakfast, where we're then bringing together public stakeholders, policymakers, as well as private sector officials. And in the evening, we will be hosting Startup Huddle event. That's where we then invite startups to share some of the challenges that they face, and then we invite experts in those fields to just share some solutions. And then that will be followed by also an LOC lunch that we'll be hosting. As you can see the banner here, which is an event that we will be hosting next year in Cape Town, which is aimed at connecting Africa. And also on Friday, then we will be hosting the National Presidential SMME and Cooperative Awards, which will be in partnership with the Department of Small Business Development. So over and above the GEW events, we also host other ecosystem events, ranging from your corporate cocktail events, from our startup focused events, from your investor focused events. So please do go on our website, www.22onsloane.co, to learn more about our events and join the community.
That is awesome. And are there any programs that you guys facilitate as well? Maybe to empower women or to empower startups that you want to potentially can share with us?
All right, so we do have some programs aimed at developing some startups and entrepreneurs. So the first one is our incubation program. We take startups who are either in ideation phase up to an MVP, a minimal viable product, or maybe you do have like something to showcase, a prototype, but it still needs refinement. So that incubation program takes is a 12-month program, right? So we do invite both SMMEs and also startup.
Are they purely tech startups?
No, so hence I'm saying SMMEs. So SMMEs do not have to be tech enabled. So, however, we do encourage SMMEs to also just go through that tech enablement, but should you not be tech enabled, it's okay still. And then we take them through that program. We also take them through the business readiness levels as well as the technology readiness levels. So the BRL levels is meant to actually take you through a program where we ensure that your business will be sustainable in the long run, while the technology readiness level or technology capacity level is aimed at ensuring that the product that you are building will be technical, will have the correct technical capabilities should you want to move it to a platform, right? So that's the incubation program. And then the accelerator program, or rather the catalytic program, is then aimed at inviting startups, tech-enabled businesses that have an MVP, an existing minimal viable product, or a working prototype that has been tested on the program. And we take in startups who are either in pre-seed, have not raised any funds, up to startups that have already raised funds and are ready to access further markets. So then that's where we take them through the TCL or technology capability levels 3 to 9. So that means then that we are basically further refining the technical capacity, so that obviously it can be further sustainable as well. And then we also then get them ready to access markets and investors. So during our closeout programs, we then have a demo day where we invite investors, our corporate partners, as well as our public partners to then come see what the startups have done, and then hopefully that's when we provide those market access opportunities and those partnerships get formed. And then the last program that we have is the Gen Juniors program, which is our youth entrepreneurship program. That program then is aimed at attracting kids between the ages of 13 to 18 years of age. So that's where then we introduce young kids to the whole world of entrepreneurship, which is great, is that we attract kids between in our areas from Deep Sloot, Tembisa, and also some parts of Bryanston, because we've seen that with some schools, they don't give these kids an opportunity to also understand entrepreneurship as well as tech. So this is the platform where kids can understand that post high school, there's also opportunities of building your business, and then a place like 22 On Sloane can help you cultivate that idea. And then I think the last one is our digital skills program, where then we invite young unemployed individuals to get those digital skills that are needed in the current work environment. And I think, yeah, that's it.
Are there any success stories that you can share with us from these programs?
Yes. So with our accelerator program, we have, surprisingly, one of the startups actually stemmed from the hackathon that we hosted in 2021. Okay. They have launched their product and have onboarded some schools on their platform. Wow. And some schools are utilizing those platforms. And then there is another SMME that we've helped raise some funds. So they came here with a less revenue model. I'm sorry, I do not remember the exact funds, but now they've really scaled so much that now in the current building they've occupied, I think, 2 big spaces as well, and have managed to also move their business from South Africa and expand it to the DRC. So that is a remittance platform called Maxi Cash.
Do these success stories from the alumni of
22 On Sloane? Yes, they do. And I think there's also another one that I'd like to also just add, which also is linked to other ecosystem events. So we host the Entrepreneurship World Cup, which is a Global Entrepreneurship Network initiative. So us being part of GEN, the Global Entrepreneurship Network, and being the headquarters of GEN Africa, which has footprint in 43 African countries, we get the opportunity to host like your GEW weeks, your Entrepreneurship World Cups, as well as your Startup Huddle. So let me start up with Startup Huddle. So some startups that pitch them get the opportunity to also meet some ecosystem players. And from there, we had a startup that also attended one of our startup huddles that focused on how to pitch in front of an investor. Post that, they attended an event where they won the seed round stage there, and then they further won the Cape Town event, where they became the best startup in that category. And then in terms of Entrepreneurship World Cup, our Entrepreneurship World Cup winner in 2021 has further found partners in Miami as well. So these are the type of ecosystem opportunities our entrepreneurs get through either being part of our program or being part of our ecosystem.
That is amazing. That you've just being part of this community can build networks and relationships as far as Miami. So it is seems like quite a beneficial sort of relationship one can have with 22 On Sloane, especially if you are a startup. I think there's a multitude of programs that you guys run that can be beneficial. I'm sitting here as a startup owner. I'm thinking, oh, okay, you guys are not purely just tech, because I'm in the media space. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe I can just form part of 22 On Sloane
yes,
as well.
Definitely.
So I like the work that you guys are doing, especially today that we're here at the GEW Hackathon with African Bank. And just as a parting shot, what are you guys looking for from the potential winners of this hackathon today?
So firstly, hackathons are merely to just spur that innovation, you know, and also some of these ideas get implemented within the corporate. Should one of the executives like the idea, they would definitely then take on the idea, and then you'll see your product, also your idea, being incorporated within the bank. So what we want to see mostly is people to have fun, because yes, in as much as yes, people want to win, but have fun. Secondly, we want those innovative ideas, you know, we want to basically spurring that innovation, you know, because, and then thirdly, I think it's more about teamwork. And then because most often we see that a lot of companies stem from hackathons. And so I think for me personally, over and above, yes, the money and being part of African Bank is really just spurring that innovation. As you know, Africa is the youngest population in the world, you know, and it shows that we have a lot of potential with solving some of the issues on the continent, and these entrepreneurs are the ones that are going to solve those problems. So I think one thing that we aim to achieve is that we are spurring innovation, and we are also working towards fixing some issues within the continent, or now currently within the corporate. As you know, that these startups are aiming to solve challenges that have been provided by the bank. And they are, as I said, solving challenges for the people, by the people. And thank you.
True. Thank you so much for honoring this interview.
Thank you very much.
It was very informative. And I'm hoping some of the audiences might pick up gems in some of the stuff that you've shared, and hopefully they'll convert into 22 On Sloane.
Hopefully.
Community. Thank you.
Thank you very much.